talking, and now we're live. Now the live button came up, so I can go ahead and start. Okay. Well, good evening. It's February 23rd, and it's the day after my 61st birthday. So it's interesting. On 2/22, I've been able to amass 22,280 days, which is pretty cool. That I've been able to be blessed to share this much of life. Um, Today was a very interesting day. I got to work with Michael. I'm the franchisor, and Michael is my only, at this point, my only franchisee. And he and I are getting along much better. And we had some issues we needed to sort out. But Michael and I have got to the point where we're able to tell each other straight up what we think, and he with me and all that. So uh, that's going well. So just to give you a slice of what a day like mine is like, is I probably got up somewhere between 4:30 and 5, thought about what I wanted to do today. Creative guy. He's probably the most creative builder I've ever met. Anyway, I'm in Ecuador, and now the button pops up, says my network connection is experiencing difficulties. Check your connectivity. Now that's off. So anyway, I woke up, it was about 4:30, and started thinking about what I wanted to do. Got up at 5 and was pretty excited. But I mean, I love what I do. Honestly, I feel like this is the best job I've ever had, the most fun I've ever had, the most challenging, and I feel that I really contribute a lot, and so does the other members of the team. So this morning we wanted to get an email together about our reach into the special needs community. And so we're having a big event at a nearby university called Lipscomb. And it's going to be this Thursday, and it's going to be with the Middle Tennessee Association for Down Syndrome and Tennessee Autism. We were two groups that really could use a warm water therapy facility. So it's really pretty cool to realize some of the quotes and some of the videos we got from different people who've used my new aquatic center, and it just left me feeling really good about what I'm doing. One of the things the parents were saying they really liked was that as a mother with a son, it was hard to know, were they comfortable with their son going in what they call a gang locker room, like what they have at a YMCA, and wondering, what was going to happen, or a father with their daughter, or sorry, long day. So they really enjoyed the fact that the bathrooms are right off the therapy pools, and they really enjoyed that the walls were calm and that the room was private. And so they were basically saying things like, this is like a perfect facility for folks like us. And it made me feel really good because I've dedicated all the years, pretty much, maybe not the first year since we unfortunately were separated, to working on this, what we used to call the project all the time. Now it's a real business. So there's just been a lot of real encouraging news. I get to work with some pretty fantastic people. One guy's name is AJ, and he has a shaved head, but he's a guy who is so excited about the opportunity to work with me. He was the assistant manager at an auto parts store and was looking for a internship, try to learn more about entrepreneurship from the local university, which is the same university I went to when I was an undergrad for my third and fourth years, called Middle Tennessee State University. It's in Murfreesboro, if you girls remember where that is. It's kind of a little bit to the east of Nashville. Not that we went out much out past the farm, but anyway, that's where it was. And so the business is in Murfreesboro and is widely acknowledged to be a really cool business. And so today we're starting a major outreach into the community of folks that have special needs. And so I'm the one, of course, leading that. Michael's more on the ground. So today I felt, pretty good, was typing away, getting some thoughts, went and laid down for a little bit, rested. My shoulder's a little sore from helping my friend John moving some wood and trying to brace a unusual piece of wood. He loves unusual pieces of wood that are all curled and knotted and highly unusual. So I laid down and thought of some more ideas, got up and typed some more, and felt like it was kind of got into a nice creative place. And so that was good. So I ended up working this weekend. I think I put in, 30 hours between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, working pretty much every day and into the night. I take a little break to chat with John every day. Talk to Michael on the phone. Sometimes I talk to Brad, talk to AJ. I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours on the phone, max per day. I used to do a lot, but today was probably more on the line of an hour. And I try to walk when I talk, so it gives me a chance to get some exercise. But I don't really go very far from the house. And so I'm sort of in this somewhat monastic existence, being here at the house. But it really does help me focus. And so I was able to write this email, and I revised this email over 100 times and reworked paragraphs and changed words and put this sentence over here. And my original email was 3 pages, so I tried to really customize it and not be a sort of generic email to all the people that would like to rent the center, and made it specifically to this one group that we're working with, and with special needs, called Compass. And so that went really well. I felt very positive. Michael told me that he thought the previous email was really good, but it's something I've always really enjoyed doing, is working in the English language. So I was typing an email to the team, which is now which is about 10 people that I work with. Most of them are high school interns. The adults are Michael, me, and Brad, Kristen, sometimes Adriana. I knew have a new intern, Adrienne. I know of a new intern, Adriana. I have Brandon, I have Ryan, and so I have several different interns that are high school, Hannah, etc., that I work with. So anyway, the long and short of it is I was able to work on this email. I loved it. This is what I do really good. It's what I did to get into medical school. It's what I did to get into the loan. So surprising, girls, her dad is into grammar in a big way. And I'm into using an expanded vocabulary. And so I like using words that I think are the right word for what I'm trying to share, that aren't words that a lot of people use. And it's kind of like your Uncle Craig. Craig used to have a big thing about having a big vocabulary, and so over the years I've learned that I'm a lot more like Uncle Craig than I used to think. Um, but that's a subject for another day. But anyway, I was doing this writing and putting paragraphs together, and then I thought I was done. Then I looked over it again just to try to polish it, made a couple changes, and then decided to read it over again, each time thinking it was going to be the last pass, because I'd already spent ridiculous amounts of time with it. But I went over like 10 more times and kept making some changes. Finally decided I needed to step away and made a little something to eat, and came back, looked at it again, realized I didn't really need these words, and so I tried to go over the whole thing and say, is there a few words here, a few words there that I could cut out of it? So I got it down to basically from 3 full pages to a little over 1 page, and had added some new thoughts. So, felt pretty good. Just as I was getting ready to send, I got a phone call, and worked on that for a little bit. So anyway, I came back and finally felt comfortable with it and sent it off. And so somebody's emailing me. It shouldn't be Michael. Oh, it is. So Michael's my main man. So I sent this email to Michael and to everybody else who's part of the team, and it went well. What we're trying to do is see if we can't get our message real clear. So what I'm trying to organize is a special time for groups to come in and use H3O Aquatics to basically use it as we invited them in to play warm water volleyball, but a lot of these kids have Down syndrome and other stuff, so they ended up just throwing all the inflatable, water toys like you'd see anywhere else, dolphins and sharks and stuff like that, and all the noodles and all the exercise, hand exercise dumbbell kind of things. So they threw it all in the water, and they just had themselves a big party. So I got to write about all these people using the facility that I have to have a great party. And it was interesting because I found myself thinking about the comments. And so this is a Best Buddies group. You guys probably don't have Best Buddies group yet, but you may when you get to high school. So hopefully that is soon, that you, Grace, that you're probably in 9th grade, so maybe you are, and maybe there is a Best Buddies group at your school. A lot of big schools have them, a lot of small schools don't have them. But anyway, it's basically the Best Buddies thing is where you have a group of basically intellectually challenged or developmentally delayed folks, and you have them have a partner who's not, who's, for lack of a better term, more of a regular person. And so they're Best Buddies. So they come and they hang out and party. And so they came to the event, and I was remembering what they said was, this is our best event ever. I'm like, wow, this is your best event ever? How cool is that? Do you think our place is the nicest place you've ever had? That's real cool. You love the bathrooms? Cool. Well, one of the things they loved about the bathroom, Grace and Faith, is that in addition to a bench in the shower, they also have a bench outside the shower, so they can, they can dry off and change. So the parents could send their kid in, knowing that they weren't going into some big locker room. And so a lot of these, you know, mentally retarded kids with low IQ were able to go in by themselves, have a shower, change, sit down on the bench, and come out. Well, it was kind of a nice freedom thing for them. They loved it. And guess what? Their parents loved it too. And one of the things I was writing in there is that it was kind of freeing for the parents that they didn't have to worry about that. You know, all the kids were in a small room, not like one of these giant lap pools like you see at the YMCA where some kid may be running down the other end of the pool and everybody's kind of always has to be watching. And our pools don't have deep end. Our pools are 12 foot wide by 28 foot long, and they're 4 feet deep. So there's no deep end, so kids that are afraid of the water or who can't feel really comfortable. And so the thing that really struck me the most and actually made me feel the most proud was that what the parents were saying was really special. Sure, they liked the bench seating. Sure, they liked the handicap lift. Sure, they liked the toys. Sure, they liked the separate room with a hydro massage bed. And yes, they did like it that they were able to have the room all to themselves as a private room. And yes, they did like the price. And they did really like that they could park right up next to their front door. And they really did like the fact that it was easy to get to. And they sure liked it that they were able to go there at night and schedule it. And, you know, they liked that somebody could pull up 25 feet from the front door, and once you're in the front door, it's not 25 feet to where you basically get in the pool. And yes, they liked the warm water volleyball, and yes, they liked the massage jets, and yes, they liked the massage wands, and yes, they liked the dual set of stairs, and yes, they liked all the ballet bars on the side of the therapy pool, and yes, they liked that it was a fiberglass pool and was easy on people's skin, and yes, they liked it that all the staff was really warm and friendly and respectful and considerate, and yes, they liked it that you know, there was a drinking fountain separate in the room, and yes, they really loved that the bathrooms were super clean with bariatric wall-mounted commodes and solid surface walls. And, you know, yes, they loved that the lighting system in the bathrooms was really well done, and there's no switches in the bathroom for the lights. There's no light switches in the room, so none of the kids could just go turn the lights off. And yeah, they liked the solid surface counters, and yeah, they liked all the touchless soap dispenser kind of things that are pretty cool. And they liked the color scheme in the bathroom where even people with low vision or fogged up glasses after being in the pool could see, because the colors were contrast where the sinks were and where the commodes were and where the bench was and the hand dryer. So it was really fun stuff, and they really did appreciate the 42-inch wide doors, and we had basically $500 door handles, doorknobs that were set up to be super easy for arthritis. And yes, they liked the bathrooms being off on the pool, directly off from the pool. You know, the 2-foot bench seating almost all the way around the therapy pool, and they sure did love the underwater treadmills and that kind of thing. So they really found a lot of stuff to like. But the thing that really got to me the most, the thing that I was most proud of, was that they said what was really something that set the event apart from everything else was simply that everybody who was there, you know, the warm water, it's 93 degrees. It's not the 80 degrees that you have at a swimming pool, or 78 to 82 depending, but 80 degrees and 93 degrees are quite a bit different. And so they really enjoyed that a lot of the kids who have spasticity, which is common in special needs kids, didn't have any issues the way they do having what we used to call spasms, or as kids we grew up calling them spaz attacks. And that made everybody feel comfortable, because it's hard to really find an event, because special needs kids are all over the map. Some of them are more language challenged, some of them are more physically challenged, some of them are more intellectually challenged, and some of them have challenges with spasticity, and others have challenges with eyesight or challenges with hearing issues and stuff like that. So it's really a wide mix of different issues that they deal with. Well, there was light shows for all the kids on the walls, these rainbow light shows everywhere, which everybody liked, even the parents and all that. But the coolest thing for me really is the fact that the design and the warm water and the whole atmosphere of the place was kind of a great leveler, to where it didn't matter if you were low IQ or high IQ, or athletic or not athletic, or could use all the English words well, or whether you were hard of hearing, or whether you were short or tall, or 17 or 57, or whatever age you were, and it didn't matter if you were thin or fat, or for anything. And so everybody who was in the water and everybody outside felt this kind of common kinship, as they were part of a group just having a party. And that was something that this Best Buddies group had never really had anywhere else. Is that it sort of wiped away the issues of, because the water kind of hides to a certain extent if you got a big butt, or the water sort of, it doesn't matter if you're a good swimmer or not a good swimmer, and anybody can play with the noodle, whether you're an athlete or a non-athlete, and everybody can just laugh and carry on, and everybody can enjoy the music or the light show, whether you're a little hard of hearing or hard of seeing. And so it was just a pretty cool thing to see that all these people who are special ed, who don't really get to be part of a quote-unquote team. They don't really get to feel like they're part of a soccer club, or a, college band, or, a Spanish club, or chess club, or anything to where, like regular people, I don't mean to be negative when I say regular people, but just trying to use a phrase that makes sense. The regular people get to be part of a group, and regular people get to feel part of a clique, or whatever you want to call it. But unfortunately, they don't, and they see themselves as different. They're aware that they're different, They're aware that they're in special ed class and people make fun of them, that they're not on any of the football teams, and they're not cheerleaders, or they're not a lot of things. And so it's kind of hard for them. And so, my heart breaks for people like that, and it's very humbling to realize that I've been so blessed that I have at least average intelligence, and my eyes are getting a little bad, girls. I got my distance glasses that I use when I want to look far away, and I have my reading glasses over here that I use. Sorry about that. That I use close up, but my hearing is not what it was, and that's okay. I'm not sweating it. still get to hear what I want to hear. Um, you know, arms are moving pretty good. I'm not as strong as I once was, as you can imagine. A couple years hanging out behind a computer hasn't really built up my strength, you know. And but I'm strong enough, and my eyes are good enough, and oh, I may forget a few things now and then, but I'm in good shape. My heart's in good shape. I'm still a vegetarian, and still really, um, I cook for myself. So, today I had lentils for lunch and had some eggs for breakfast. A lot of times, girls just like the old days. Yeah, I still love my cereal in the mornings. So at some point in time during the day, I always have some cereal. It just doesn't feel like a just doesn't feel like a great day unless I have some cereal and milk. And as I get older, I'm certainly little more lactose intolerant than I used to be. But it still makes me feel good that my taste buds are still pretty good, and um, I had uh, some peas today, and I've been eating a lot of avocados, and because I'm in Ecuador and you can get avocados, and so today I didn't have any tomatoes. The tomatoes weren't quite ripe, but my meals are very simple. They make this kicking, I mean, just delicious French bread, and they make these muffins, and they're 12 cents each. And so for a treat, I'll put some butter on and just sort of let the butter sink in, get them nice and warm. So, I do a little stuff like that. But my life is pretty simple. I, um, I, I've watched a movie. I've watched, oh, I don't know, one movie in the past 2 weeks. Um, things I miss. I wish I could watch the television show Elementary. I love Sherlock Holmes, and I've been a big fan of Sherlock Holmes for a long time. And uh, Grace and Face, when your mom was pregnant with Grace, and when your mom was pregnant with Faith, I I reread Sherlock Holmes and some of the stories. Even though I've already read them a couple times, I still get a kick out of them. So it's funny that now, these have got to be really huge. I mean, BBC in England had a special Sherlock Holmes specials, and they have this new star over there doing Sherlock Holmes, who I absolutely love. Although my favorite character is Miss Watson over there. I mean, is Watson over there. Um, but I got to tell you, I love Elementary the best, and I love Sherlock Holmes, and I like that Watson in this case is a girl and or a lady, and she's doing fantastic. So I get to see little clips of the show, and because in Ecuador they have a blackout blackout on certain TVs and shows and stuff like that you can't get. It's sort of banned, I guess, because people in Ecuador steal them or whatever. So, if you want to know what I miss, I miss being able to, surprisingly, watch a little TV once in a while. Um, so I probably watch, I don't know, 15 minutes a day. If you were to average over a course of a week, I probably play. I like this new kind of solitaire, and it's called Double Solitaire, and it's a game I downloaded. And hey, Bryce, um, there's Bryce on the video, girls. You can't see him, but Bryce just we're all very proud of him. Bryce has all these sort of secondary fathers, as it were, that have taken an interest in him, and most of them are Drake's friends, but I have had the pleasure of getting to do that. And I'm just real proud to share with you, Bryce just passed all the requirements he needs for his Eagle Scout. And so he just recently finished the last of the last. And so he got his 21 merit badges, but then the Boy Scouts decided that every boy should really get the cooking merit badge. So he went back and got his 22nd round and finished that up, and he finished his Eagle Scout project with a bunch of your Uncle Drake's buddies from high school and buddies from since high school.
Got stuck because I think you blocked that one guy in.
He's been hanging out with
To the
these.
left. That's why I drove up past that driveway and turned the truck around because it looked like you couldn't get out.
Some of those people he's known
So I guess
for 40 some years.
Well, I think you can. I think you
So that's
can
really
make
cool
that.
for him. And so they were helping him, and so he did his project. Bryce is, as you understand, is very active in his church. Teresa's always been very active. And so he built a little kid playhouse for his church. It was a long project and required a
I'll
lot
go
of
down
stuff.
with you in the morning, man.
But I was able to help Bryce with some of his merit badge stuff.
Make sure you're in
And
a safe
took him down
place.
to the Corps to
All right,
get checked off on
up to
citizenship
you had
in
no
the
problem driving
community.
out.
And, you know, went camping with him and went down and collected
It's the same driving in as it is
um,
driving out.
I guess.
different, you know, plants and looked at different animals and
Yeah,
all
that's what I'm
that
saying. So
stuff,
hopefully that guy had to go in and other people's stuff might have. Well, we'll see how it is.
So it was kind of fun getting to do that stuff with him.
Sounds good.
It does make me a little sad because
We got a few
every day I'm
places there,
sad
so
because I wish I was able to spend time with you.
I'm sure it'll be there tomorrow.
I'm glad Jimmy new website. A bunch of military surplus stuff.
It's pretty hard most days. Not having you to talk to and not knowing what you're doing. You know, I'd like to know who your friends are and what your favorite foods are and what you like to do after school, and you send Twitter messages to you.
All right, sounds good, bud. Good night.
Wonder if you're having any sleepovers or that's just in the past, or just worry. You know? Just worry about you. I read all the snow reports and I feel really sorry. Basically, you guys got slammed this year with weather, and some people call it bad weather. I don't call weather good weather and bad weather. Seems kind of ridiculous. It's just weather, and you get to experience it all. But I'm glad I have the weather in Ecuador. I will tell you that. But it's just hard every day. I see your photographs, and you know, there's just as many pictures of Faith and as Grace. I had some pictures of us as a family, but just didn't like seeing your mom's photo. Just brought back memories that some of which I just find distract me from what I'm doing right now. And I need all my faculties. I need to focus. It's a new startup business, and I need to have every one of my brain cells working. So I have some frames and have your photos, and they're right over there, and about 5 feet away, and so I see them multiple times a day. Um, I have favorite pictures of you, Grace, and favorite pictures of you, Faith. But over the years, my favorite pictures are actually the ones where the two of you. I'm gonna take one quick break, and I'm gonna show you my favorite. Okay. Uh, okay. Sorry for the delay. Um, but hopefully you can see this is my all-time favorite photo of the two of you, and you're both having a good time. Grace is kind of clowning around with her head over, and you both just look beautiful. And I always loved your long hair. I was real sad when we went to McDonald's that time, and Mommy got your hair cut off. I'm kind of ashamed. I understand she had to do that, but or she felt she had to do it. But I was really sad about it, and didn't know what to do. I mean, you girls were going to go to Virginia whether I liked it or not, so I thought the least I could do is kind of give you my blessing that you guys needed to go. I realized later that your mom would sort of think that that meant that you guys needed to be protected, and I knew I'd done something bad, and so yes, you needed to go, but it's not the way it was. I just didn't want you girls to feel bad that somehow you were letting me down. And I realized it probably got severely misconstrued, and I'm sorry for that. But what I'm really sorry about is that you girls left, and that your mom has sort of made it impossible for me to see you girls. And so, you know, I celebrate your birthdays. I done a little research, found out that, you know, this is a church you go to, and that you girls ran these races, and I had your times memorized in the races, and found out about Facebook, you know, where she got an award for that, and about different stuff going on with your church and stuff like that. Just the stuff you can find out in a simple internet search. Mainly, I just wanted to know you girls are alive, and that you were okay. But you know, I can help her worry. I know mom's doing a good job. I know she's always taken motherhood seriously, and I'm very grateful for that. There's things I'm not grateful for about your mom. But one thing I am always grateful for is that she took being your mother seriously. And that's given me some consolation. And one thing I want you girls to know is that I've taken being your father very seriously, and realized that dads are traditionally supposed to take care of their daughters and provide for them. And so I'm building this business that you girls are part owners. Bryce is a 1/6 owner, Grace is a 1/6 owner, Faith, you're a 1/6 owner. And I'm the 50.05% owners. So I gave you girls 16.65% of the company. I could have given you 16.66, but I didn't like the 666 number. So that's why I went with 16.65. I figured 50.05 is pretty close to just a hair over 50%. And I didn't want to jinx it. So I wanted you girls to know that I still do take being your dad real serious. And it helps to get me out of bed, and helps me to want to do my very best every day. And some days I wish I was better than what I do. The other day, Michael was doing something that really bugged me, and I was just like, this is just crappy, Michael. You can do better. And so, and if you guys aren't willing to do it right, then I'll just take over the job that really should be done by an intern and do it myself. So that's what I did this weekend. So I spent Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Sunday morning, Sunday evening. There's not a real church to go here. I'm not a real big fan of the Catholic Church the way they have it down here. It's they worship all these other people other than Jesus, and it's sister of the this and saint of this and saint of that, and Lady Guadalupe is a big one, and it doesn't really seem like the kind of church that I care for. So I pray, and I have times when I communicate with God. And it's still an important part of my life, and my belief in God has made it easier for me to deal with the absence of you girls in my life. And I'm very grateful, though. I'm grateful that you girls are alive and well, and I'm grateful that you girls are together, and I'm grateful that you're together with your mom, and that your mom has been able to provide for you as best she can. Your mom's a hustler, and takes on some extra work to try to take good care of you girls, and I think that's great. And but as I get this business rolling, I'm going to be able to take good care of you the way a father should. And so I may not be able to do a lot of stuff, but I can make this business work and leave you girls something when I die, whenever that is, hopefully a long time. And it's been a struggle, and it's been way more difficult than I actually ever would have guessed. Just been ridiculously 10 times more difficult, and it's difficult every day. And Michael's been in business like 8 months. He still doesn't even have one employee. But the good news is he's got all these volunteers and interns, and he has his therapists and personal trainers as what's called 1099s, which are self-employed subcontractors. And but we're making it work. We started off really behind the 8 ball, but I'm really good at starting businesses. I've started my first business when I was 7, pulling seaweed after helping older brother Brett mow lawns. He taught me a lot about business. He was the boss. He got $2 for mowing somebody's yard, and paid us $1. So that reminds me of when we're I've laughed about this 100 times, Faith. Um, when I got you girls to try being entrepreneurs and set up a lemonade stand, and Faith, you were like, well, you guys can help us, but it wasn't like you were like, you guys want to get paid? It was just very funny, Faith, and it showed me that you have a lot of natural skills in business management, and how you and Grace managed the store, and I could really see future entrepreneurs between the both of you. And there's some traits that some people will say are genetic, and no one's ever said entrepreneurial is a genetic trait, but I think it's the willingness to believe in yourself and go for what you really want in your life that I've hoped I've taught you something about. Well, I know I taught you something about. But I guess tonight it's just I've had such a good day. I love it when I get to be creative, and I love it when there's a task that takes all my strength and takes all my intelligence and my patience and all the experiences I've had to do that. So I just want to say thanks, girls, because I'm really grateful you girls are alive and well, and even if you don't know it, you guys are a constant source of inspiration. And even if you don't hear from me, I really want you to know that you supported me every step of the way. And when we were going through this, Krista and I would argue about how come I was giving my girls so much of the company when she was the one there. And I just tell her as well, because you girls are part of the company. You guys are the inspiration. Faith, I don't have a picture of you, but there's a picture of you, Grace, where you're in, I believe it's you're one of the Girl Scout deals where we used to take you to Etheridge, and you have your Summertown Health Center hat on. And you girls were always an inspiration to me then, and what I'm doing now is simply a new and much improved Summertown Health Center. But I feel like my whole life has led me up to doing what I do now, and part of it is my love for you girls. I mean, how lucky can a guy be? I mean, I turned 50 years old with a 1 and a 3-year-old. I mean, it's as good as it gets, you know. Next month, Faith, you're going to be 13, and 2 months, Grace, you're going to be 15. It's getting kind of old. Girls are growing up, and I still call you girls, and I realize that maybe that's inaccurate. Maybe you girls are really just young adults or young ladies or whatever, but you'll always just be my girls. Just know that. Anyway, there's a limit these days because, you know, I'm just me, myself, and I here.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to just say goodbye here in just a minute.
Making sure you're still on.
That's good.
And just wanted to say thanks for being who you are, and thanks for your support. And
His birthday is
I'm real proud of you, and
To be here and
grateful for all of that.
birthday.
So Drake, I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna hang up here, or maybe
I'm going to call
you can hang up for me. However you want to do that. Okay.
Okay.
But girls, I just do want to say good night. Hi, Therese. Therese always walked in the picture. But thanks for being who you are, and thanks for being my inspiration. Okay. I love you very much. Good night.